Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? Just help me confirm if you can hear me loud and clear as I get into the stream. Just help me confirm on that. I have trades running. I'm going to discuss what trades there are shortly so that we probably can have some kind of analysis and you guys can be on the same page with me as well. But if you're in my VIP platform, I'm pretty much sure you saw the trades and you guys always see the trades on time. All right. And I always put links to the VIP in the description, right? So if you guys want to join, and we've made it very easy for anybody who wants to join. We've put links in the description and also made everything automated. All right, so that you don't have an issue joining. So you can check out the links in the bio, and hopefully you can navigate and just get yourself inside the VIP. All right. Just help me confirm you can hear me. Just type a 1. What time frame is this? This is a 4-hour time frame. It's a 4-hour time frame. It's a 4-hour time. Good morning. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for sparing time for us. Definitely, I always spare time to come here. Now, I'm going to do some analysis here. I am using the Exness terminal today so that I can just show you guys a couple features that they have on the terminal that I do think you would find interesting. I use them too a couple of times here and there. I'm going to show you. Yeah, happy new month, everybody. Happy new month. It's 1st July. How times fly, right? Yeah. We have an area here. This is a very strong resistance level. This one. And we have another area somewhere where price is at right now, which we assuming maybe price can break. There's a level of interest right here. It's a 4-hour time frame. So every time 4-hour time frame, you can, I personally use it to come up with some kind of like like areas of interest that are much stronger, like my strong zones, my strong levels. So in this case, this whole area here, if I put this line exactly right here, that's pretty much like my strong area of interest presently. All right. So I have this resistance, I have this support currently that I feel price might break. Looks like it's going to break based off the volume that we're seeing here. Is it possible to go widescreen for PC? Yeah, you could if you want to. I just put it this way because I just want you guys to see my stream in this form. But in the meantime, I just like to share a small portion of my chart, basically because that's my focus normally. If I'm day trading, I don't look at too much. I look at only this portion of the chart. All right. Cool stuff. This is a 4-hour time frame. If I scroll down to 30 minutes time frame, you kind of would notice something a little bit different here. That you can maybe like readjust the levels. So that level, far off as it looks, it could be somewhere here. Better still, I can just go to like my 50 minutes time frame, right? Because I can use 30 or I can use a 50 minutes time frame whenever I'm doing my analysis. All right, so I'm going to use 15 here. And then maybe we can have this level exactly somewhere down here. And then perhaps maybe we can say that this is a significant area of interest. But again, if you check what's happening now, it does look like price is stuck in some kind of like a range, right? Yeah, like if you zoom out, especially if you're looking at like a 4-hour time frame, you realize that it looks like it's in some kind of like a range in a sense. All right, but also, in as much as it looks like it's in a range, it looks like it's in a downtrend too. I could stretch this here because there's a level somewhere here too. This is some kind of like area of interest as well. Yeah, this is let's see area of interest right here, which would act as a resistance level based off the fact that price is in some case below it. Yeah, so we can look at this in this form, right? This is a gold chart on a 50 minutes time frame. Basically looking at the structure for what it is and just trying to see if maybe price can react to, let's say, this level, or preferably if it can go down for a breakout below this level here. It's like two things I'll be waiting for personally. All right, I'm waiting to see if maybe price can break below here. All right, yeah, or if maybe price can, if at all it does, if it can go above here, maybe for change of bias. All right, if at all it does, maybe if it goes above here, pretty much maybe for change of bias. That's if we break above this level, because this acts as a very interesting area based off the recent price action that you can see here. All right, so yeah, I have those two levels. Of course, we could look at this one here too, that was taken out by the markets recently. There was a level somewhere down here, which might not really be of interest right now, because then it's like slightly not so much of a strong area, and price broke it already. So I don't really think it would hold the price if price came here, right? Normally levels like this would not really hold the price, right? So I wouldn't look at this one as per se a strong level of interest, right? But this is my analysis overall. I'm more down on price going downside than it going up, pretty much because I see a downtrend here, very persistent. If you check out the volume 2 across this move yesterday, let's do that. And then okay, let's just push this here so you guys can see it nicely. I'm gonna look at the volume from this level to up here. Yeah, you can see that we have lots of volume around this level. All right, around where price is currently, lots of volume here. So I do expect that there could be some kind of like a shift, right? Maybe we could see price, you know, starting to sort of like, you know, trigger some kind of movements or something like that, right? Yeah, I have positions already priced in here. I took a sell. Let me show you guys. I took a sell somewhere around this candle, somewhere here. I think I put a stop of something like this, and then I have like a TP somewhere downside here. All right, so those are positions that I have currently at the moment. Please bear in mind that these are not trade recommendations, right? This is not trading advice or anything like that, right? This is just me showing you some kind of education around why I took the trade and so on and so forth. I'm gonna take out this for now so that we can look at the chart for what it is. All right, I don't know what you guys are trading this morning. You can let me know so we can look at that as well. Maybe if you're looking at different assets, I could go over that. And yeah, also if you're trading on the Xness terminal, I think one thing you'll notice is, because I'm using Xness terminal today, one thing you notice is that they have a playback feature, right? Unlike if you're going on a trading view, you might realize that you might need to have like a subscription to access this feature, right? So sometimes you have like a free weekend where you want to sort of like back test, right? You can play back candles. Maybe like in this case, I could play back candles all the way to there. And yeah, pretty much like just do my back testing, right? Just watch price do its thing, you know, put my analysis to test, and then see if at all, you know, whatever I know about the markets actually works on most of the assets that I do trade. All right. So unlike TradingView has the same feature, but I think you need to have like a subscription if you have to access it, right? Yeah. So I enjoy this feature a lot because I know for a fact that over the days when I'm not trading, I could always backtest and see if at all I have some kind of like an urge around my trading system, right? So that helps a lot. Yeah. Let me know, guys, what else you're trading. I could look at that as well as I go over this stream. I don't know if it's me. Your screen is a bit wide. Yeah, it is wide. It is wide for sure. It is. Unless you want me to do something like that. Yeah, but I always like to focus on the current price action. So I'm a day trader personally, so I don't really care so much about what happened in the past as such, right? I care so much about what most recently happened, right? Like what's happening now and what most recently happened, like let's say a day ago, maybe yesterday or something like that. All right, that's like my main interest at all times. It's my main interest. All right, let me know what else you guys are looking at in the chart so I could look at that as well. Just let me know what else you're looking at in the chat. I'm I'm trying to observe my trades here too. My stop is still pretty much far off. Yeah. There's lots of volume right now. Although we do have NFP, I think tomorrow. I was shocked when I saw that actually. Yeah, we have NFP, I think tomorrow. No, this is not NFP. But we have NFP tomorrow. Let me see. Let me show you guys that. I'm gonna stretch this on the far left. We have NFP tomorrow. Pretty much maybe most of the volume that we might see today might be based off the fact that there's some kind of NFP going on tomorrow as well. Yeah, so if you look at this, there's NFP happening. Okay, let me just go up first. Today is the first, and then go down here. So one thing you notice is there's lots of news events here, right? So you can always check and just maybe filter out the ones that you want to trade, right? So like personally, I want to look at the the dollar, right? So I want only news that's around the dollar, right? Also, you can change the impact, right? Obviously, just so you can focus on the highest impact. So the highest impact in this case would be this. So we have NFP here, yeah, non-farm payroll here, which is tomorrow, 2nd of July. But it normally would fall on a Friday. I don't know why it's falling on a Thursday this time around. I have no idea why that's happening actually. But yeah, we have NFP tomorrow. We'll see. Most likely we should come live for that too, and then just give you guys an analysis and some kind of like projection and so on. But in case of those people who don't know, NFP is an employment change, right? It happens every first Friday of a new month. In this case, it's happening on a Thursday. Yeah, sadly, but it happens every first Friday of a new month. Just so you know, right? It's happening tomorrow instead. It's kind of like a very volatile news release, right? Would affect the dollar aggressively. Most cases I've noticed that it does affect the dollar aggressively, right? So they're projecting that we should see 110,000 jobs against 172,000. I don't know if we'll get that, all right? Everything still zeroes into unemployment claims, right? I personally always use unemployment claims to sort of like track down NFP. So it depends on the numbers that have been coming in from that, because unemployment claims is like every week. And yeah, I think Friday should be a bank holiday. Probably that's why there's NFP happening on a Thursday. Yeah, I do think Friday is a bank holiday. Probably that's why. Most cases that would be the case. So if Friday is the holiday, maybe that's why NFP will be happening on a Thursday. I think probably that's the reason. Oh, I see you guys also saying the same thing. I think because it's a bank holiday on Friday, Freedom Day in the US. Okay, fine. I think that's the reason actually. That's the biggest reason. So no economic release on Friday. Instead, everything happens on Thursday because Friday is a bank holiday. Yeah. So let's look out for that, right? Normally, if I'm going to trade personally, there are times I stay away from news events, right? Of course, by reason of knowing when they're happening. And there are also times when I'm interested in trading these news events as well. But again, if I don't have much understanding, I try to refrain, right? Like I try to stay away from any kind of a news update, right? I would recommend the same thing for you too. If you don't have much understanding about any economic report that's coming up, you're better off staying away than you actually trying to trigger trades that probably you don't have an understanding of, right? It's almost like you don't have an analysis, right? So I would stay away if I don't understand what's happening, right? Unless if I have an insight, maybe then I would participate in the news update. But in this case, we'll see. It's happening tomorrow. Today we have ADP at 2 p.m. We also have Fed chairperson. You guys know we have a new Fed chairperson, right? Yeah, we have a new Fed chairperson. It's no longer Powell, right? I think that was announced some time back. All right, so 3 p.m. he speaks today. We have ISM manufacturing PMI happening as well around 4 p.m. We'll look out for that. We'll see what happens then. Right, I kind of feel like most of these news updates would slow down the markets for now, and then maybe later on we could see some kind of like motion as the day unfolds, perhaps as the day unfolds. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. All right. So let's go on the charts anyway. Let's go back on the charts. But normally, I would always recommend you check out your news updates for the day, for the week, for the month, so you're not caught up. I do that personally. It's like a routine that I always have. Like before I get into any trades, I want to make sure that, you know, there's no news, or if at all there's any news, I'm pretty much like in full understanding of what's happening. Right. So yeah, let me try and just look out for my trades here, because I have a sell that's running. It's in a slight drawdown for now. Just gonna do like a trade management. Okay, let me push this back to somewhere here. Awesome. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. Advised on joining trades. There are platforms, kind of like AI platforms that's been developed. You could be interested in checking out a few. I might not recommend any as of here. Probably in the past, personally, I would just journal my trades manually, like just write them down or like put them in a sheet, like a spreadsheet or something, right? Of course, as you grow as a trader, that sometimes is not really a necessity in a sense, right? But again, if you're still growing in a sense, you might want that data to kind of like, you know, make your analysis around. So yeah. Let's see. Anyway, if we do get a break here, price can go up. If we do get a break here, I think the volume could come in only here. It looks like price is slowing down. So let's see. If we check the volume across this area, you will notice that maybe there's some kind of like slow. Okay, fine. There's this volume that should be expected to come in here. All right. So personally, I do have positions around here. So I entered the sell here on that candle, and then I put a stop somewhere around above here, and then I put a TP somewhere down here. But I'm thinking of closing these positions, to be honest, because I feel like the volume is slowing down in a sense, right? And probably the reason why I want to do that would be also because I'm thinking maybe price is gonna test this level first, maybe like go up to here. Let me show you. Maybe go up to inside here before later on could drop, right? So let me see. Most of my trading is candlestick reading based, right? So every decision I'm making is based off how certain candles are closing in different situations, right? So I'm looking at how candles are closing now, and I feel like the volume is not really adding up as yet. So just to kind of like do a trade management so you don't lose more than, because look, if you enter the trade somewhere here, you have a drawdown quite alright, yeah, which could be around, let's see. Yeah, around like 40 points. You have a stop of like 140, right? You could cut down this, right? Pretty much based off the fact that you're seeing, you know, candles starting to close bullish, right? And I have a rule that I've placed for myself. Every time I see candles starting to close against me, it's a sign to close those orders, all right? It's not like a premature way of acting on ongoing markets. It's kind of like a protective measure, right? So I use that a lot, you know. But let's see. I'm going to observe how this current candle closes like, and then maybe would make a decision based off that. Yeah, it's closing in like 3 minutes, I think. So we'll probably see what happens. All right. So you guys can know. Anyway, have a trade there. Are you seeing the trade? Yes, I am. NFPs on Thursday because Friday is a holiday. Yes, Friday is a holiday for sure. So we have a lot to look out for. A lot to look out for. Yeah. Did you guys know about this feature on Exness? Let me show you too. If you scroll all the way to the far end of your screen, right, there's this feature where you can actually place orders, and depending on the load size that you want to utilize, right? Let's say if I want to utilize like a 0.10 lot, and let's say I want to take, let's say sell, right? Obviously my TP is going to be below my orders, and then my stop is going to be above my orders, right? Then let me just go back to the current chart here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. So what I mean here is very simple, right? So if you look at this, you can kind of like predetermine your risk prior to you even getting into a trade with a certain load size that you want to use, in a sense, right? So if in this case I'm taking a sell, if this is going to be my TP, all right, with that 0.1 lot, and if this is going to be my stop around here, I can kind of like predetermine the risk, right? So like in this case, if you notice, this is like the risk being predetermined, right? So you have like, you know, 50 what? It's not, it's like 83. If you lose, you lose like 83. It's like 83 points. If you gain like 264, no, 250, 263 actually, 263 points, which is $263. All right. I know TradingView has a similar feature, but imagine you are on a platform that you're trading on, which is Exodus in this case, and you're able to kind of like have these you know, like focus prior before you can even actually, you know, see the trade playing out, right? So I think it's very cool, to be honest, because then you can predetermine how much you can lose if this was to go wrong, or how much you can gain if this goes right. All right, so yeah, I like features like this, to be honest, because like it helps you predetermine before even what happens in the markets happens, right? So yeah, I'll go look at a different asset based off what I see in the chart. You guys want me to look at Euro USD, so I'll look at that as well, so that we can have a similar understanding on that asset. All right, are you holding gold sales? Yes, I am. My stop is actually at 39.85. That's where my stop is. So if you check, 39.85 should be okay. Let me just put a price level. 39.85 should be somewhere around here. 39.85. Okay. I don't recommend you take the same trades, right? So unless you're willing to take the risk, but that's where my stop is, somewhere here. Yeah, kind of looks bearish now. Kind of looks bearish. Maybe if price was to break right below here, we could see some more volume. If it doesn't do that, probably we might not really see that volume. I think from my analysis, I noticed we have Asian Sessions low sitting around here. Then this is currently London Session open, and its low is sitting here. So we're currently trading around below Asian Session low. So yeah, let's see what happens anyway. This is on gold, perhaps, if you were wondering. How can I join your platforms? There's a link down below. Just check my description. I have some kind of like links around my stream here. Do you think it's a good time to take sells on Euro USD? I don't know, but let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right, let's check it out. Euro USD. Oh, changes. I think I do have something saved up here. I hope this opens. Oh no, it opens up gold. Okay, it opens up gold. It brings back gold. Okay, fine. Let me just try and open a new chart. I don't think I saved the layout for other pairs. So I'm gonna click here and then maybe get to search for Euro USD. There we have it. Open it. New chart. I'll show you guys my theme, right? Like my preferred theme whenever I'm trading, obviously, right? Like my canvas and all that. I always like my background to be white, of course. I take out most of these grid lines. I don't like having them on my screen. If you want to have them, it's all up to you. I feel like they crowd up my chart, so I don't like to have them there, right? And also, if I look at my symbols, most of my symbols is like, if it's a bullish candle, it has to be black. So I'm gonna put the body as black there, and then the border is black as well. Yes, I think something looking like this, pretty much clean and very simple, right? Nothing crazy. I'll change this to auto. Okay, it's auto already. And then what else do I change? Nothing else here. Okay, text do I have a watermark? Yeah, I have a watermark there. So yeah, pretty much this is like my go-to default chart layout, kinda. All right, just in case you're wondering. different people use different layouts for whatever reason, so you can always use your own too. Right, this is 15. Okay, let's use 15 minutes time frame. All right, someone asked if I do think Euro USD could be going to downside. Let's look at the price action here, right? Because all the time price action beats everything else, right? So if you check here, we can say that this is a resistance level, of course, based off recent data there, we can observe that. And then it's not of me to trade currencies oftenly. Personally, I don't trade currencies quite a lot. I would prefer trading gold. All right, not like I recommend that for everybody, but I would prefer trading gold because it's normally like in motion. There's always like some good price movements there. Not like these ones don't move too, but I just prefer trading, commodities. Gold is going down. Yes, it's most likely is gonna go down. Hopefully it continues doing that. Yeah. There's a level here too, downside here on Euro USD. Pretty much sure you can see this level. What else do we have? Yeah, so if we are trading here on Euro USD, we could be trading around this range. So it looks like this is a range. How many points range is this? Roughly around 83 points. All right. This candle is rejecting this level. Only if price was to fall below this point, below here, do I think that maybe price can go to the downside, which could be here. All right. It looks bearish based off the price action. But again, if price was to break this level on the upside here, that would mean that we could see price going to the upside too. All right, so it's a game of probabilities in a sense, right? But again, if you stretch out a fib across here, you will notice that we did retrace to a 23.6 level, which is a very interesting fib level, which is this one here. I don't think price is interested in going back further, right? I do think that maybe we could push to the downside from here. All right, but you just want to be very conscious about your entry, because every time your entry is key, right? If I were to be getting into positions here, I would have got into positions around somewhere here. Okay, I would have gotten into positions around somewhere here, because then I think I do get a confirmation there with that candle. All right, then maybe put a TP of this, yeah, which could add up close to like a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. I do think that this initially was going to have been a very good entry around here. Okay, if you're looking for an entry here, you might want to wait for this current candle to close outside this fib level, which is a 0 level. All right, and obviously would close outside the range. All right, that makes perfect sense, right? Yeah, so probably if you do that. And every time I take a trade personally, right, if I'm gonna set a stop, let's say if I'm taking this as a sell, right, if I'm gonna set a stop, my stop is always above the high of the entry candle. Right, so if I'm getting into a trade here, my stop would be there. Maybe if I'm going to have a TP of something like that. All right, I hope you guys see what I did right there. All right, my stop is always above the entry candle's high if I'm taking a sell. All right, just so that I don't have any crazy huge stops, right? Because I've seen people put their stops like at the recent swing high. Now imagine if you're getting into a sell here, you put a stop up there. I personally feel that that's not really sustainable long term. All right, so yeah, guys, just sharing some nuggets with you. Hopefully we like it. Let's like the stream. Let's share and like the stream. All right, let's go back and check out what's happening with gold though. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, is it my network? Okay, gold is going down. Awesome stuff, right? Yeah, just like we were discussing, correct? Just like we were discussing. Just like we were discussing, gold is going down, which is good. There we go. Seems like now the volume is back, right? You can see the reason why we're getting this. We saw the volume here prior before we saw that volume here. Like I told you, I have a position. I'm just not gonna put this on my screen, but I do have a position. I entered a position somewhere here. Yeah, and I do have a stop set somewhere around here, somewhere around the high of the recent candle. Then I have a TP of something like this. Yeah, something like that. That's the trade that I have there. So, in case you're wondering. I have red vertical lines on my Exodus chart. How do I get rid of them? Let me show you. There should be a provision. Is it somewhere here? No, it's not. How do those vertical lines look like though? Is it the ones on the chart? Which ones are you talking about though? Before I assume it's the same things that I'm assuming you're talking about. Which vertical lines are those? Which vertical lines are those? Someone says, how often do you come live? As often as I can. At least I'm here every single week. Yeah, I trade mostly London station. So I come here around maybe like 8, 9 a.m. in the morning, of course. What's the name of the platform you're using for analysis? This is Exodus Terminal. This is your Exodus Terminal. I decided to use this today so you guys can learn one or two things. You can learn one or two things from the platform itself. Open the default chart so I can show you. Okay. If I go here and then we open, let's say pound USD. Where exactly? I don't see any. I'm meant to assume I know what you're talking about. There should be a provision. If you click on the lines themselves, there should be a provision where you can hide them. There should be a provision where you can hide them. If you click on the lines themselves, there should be a provision where you can hide them. There should be a provision where you can kind of like hide them. How can I join your VIP platform? There's links in the description right now. If you're on YouTube, there's links in the description. If you're on TikTok, there's links in my bio as well. Are you in any trades right now? Yes, I am in gold sales. Though that's not some kind of like trading advice or something, yeah? Okay, let me try. Awesome. Did you share the trades to the platforms? Yeah, I did. I always do, actually. I always do. Most of the time, I always do. Everybody wins with me, and they also lose with me. If we have to. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you, probably. Yeah, those are the positions I have right there. So I share the trades here with everybody else in the community, in the VIP rather, which is our VIP community in a sense. All right. So we haven't hit any of the tech profit targets yet. Hopefully we do with time. Hopefully we do with time. But we're not in drawdown anymore. We were in drawdown at some point, but we're not anymore. We were thinking like 40, 35 points drawdown, which is very normal. I think it's talking about HRM periods, which can be disabled in settings. Yes, you can disable that in settings. If that's what you mean. You can disable that in settings. There's lots of volume now, yeah, right? Yeah. If you guys are in my VIP, let me know. Did you guys take the trade that I sent right before I came on the stream? Just let me know in the chat if you guys took the trade that I sent right before we came on the stream. If you're in the VIP, I've made it very easy for you to join the VIP platform. Simply because we've added some automation, right? We were having a lot of people struggling to join. Some people were getting removed. But right now, even if you do get removed, there's a provision where you can get back, and only if you have an active Exodus account. All right. So we put an automation that tracks you know, how often you're active, whether you're active. If you are not active, it obviously kicks you out. But if you're active, you stay in the platform and so on. All right. So just check the links in the description so you guys can copy the same trades as what you're seeing in front of your screen right there. All right. Yesterday we had these trades. Yesterday we had a buy trade. We hit 1 TP, but again we made around like 200 points. 200 points on that, which was good. And then we had a stop the other day. That was the first trade of the week. First trade of the week was a stop loss hit. I think 160 points. We came back with 200 points yesterday. Then today is going to be the third trade. So let's see what happens. And yeah, you guys would enjoy the value. Just go check out the links in the description. There's disclaimers all over, of course, right? It's not like you should risk money you can't afford to lose and so on. But let's go. Share and like the stream, guys. Let's go. Share and like the stream. Let's share and like the stream. I'm floating in profits. Yes, I took the trade. How much is the VIP? It's free. If you have an Access account, just click the link in the description. It's going to admit you straight. So check the link in the description on YouTube. It's going to admit you straight into the platform. All right. Without you needing me to manually do it for you. You just click the link, then you go in the platform. All right. Awesome. I think we are moving here. We're up around 105, 106 points. Beautiful. What is your final TP? I had a screen right in front of you before I took it out. How I wished you saw that. It's all still no trading advice, so you can figure out your own TP depending on how much you're trying to make and you know how you trade. Show us we sell, sir. No, I'm not here to show you yourself. You can join the VIP if you want me to show you so you can sell. I'm going to join soon, but I want to be making content out of your signals, kind of like giving a review of your community. Is that okay with you, sir? Well, no problem. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. Yeah, let's check out EURUSD. What's happening with it? Okay, looks like we're getting some movements here. Pretty decent, right? Yeah, pretty decent. Let's check out a different. Okay, fine. Let's just leave it to this and let's see. Am I able to? Okay, is it saved though? Because you can save like your chart layout. And maybe let's see if we can bring this chart layout here. Are we able to do that though? It's not going to enable that, so it's going to bring back a EURUSD. Okay, but this was the analysis we had earlier. Glad to see it's playing out. Even if you made an execution, let's say somewhere here, and then you have like a stop somewhere there, yeah, probably you'd get the trade right. Let's like the stream, guys. Let's go. Let's like and share the stream. Looking for a channel we won't be paying on VIP. Many don't even have money to trade on live. If they don't have money to trade on a live account, all up to them. I do offer a free VIP platform where you can copy my trades. So Yeah. I do offer a free VIP platform where you can just basically copy my trades at your own risk, of course. Yeah. There's disclaimers everywhere, so you don't really assume it's some kind of like trading advice of some sort. Yeah, I do expect lots of ranges for gold, regardless of, you know, me thinking it's gonna drop. I do still expect lots of it pulling back, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it could pull back into this area as well, which would be the worst of things that could happen. It could pull back into this area here. But anybody who's taking trades, just make sure you're risking as you should. Let's go, guys. Let's share and like the stream. We had a very interesting 2-day of a strategy course yesterday and the other day. It was very interesting. It was very, very interesting. And I don't know if I'm ever bringing back those sessions. For now, they're out of the way. I don't know if I'm ever bringing them back. For now, they are pretty much out of the way. Just so you know. For now, they're out of the way. I'll let you know if we have anything else that is some kind of like an educational platform that we probably, you know, like bring on, so you guys can, if you want to learn and stuff like that, you could utilize. Yeah, but it was very interesting. Have you checked out BTC? No, I haven't. Are you trading BTC? Are you trading BTC? I'm monitoring trades here too. I'm back to my entry right now. Filthy. But I'm just monitoring my trades here as well. Yeah. Not the best of volume for this morning. Why are you using this platform today? It's pretty much because I use it every other time too, right? So I love to integrate my brokerage platform, simply because, well, you know what, the good part is, if I were to, like, you know, actually get a trade in a sense, all right, and I want it to be running, though I can't just show my running positions here for this particular stream, I won't do that. The good part is you can still trade on the same platform, right? It's different from, like, most times you guys using TradingView, and of course I do too sometimes. The thing is, in as much as you can do that, it's very hard for you to really trade on the platform itself, right? Because maybe server issues and so on and so forth. But here, if you come up with a position, you can ultimately take the position while on the platform, all right? So there's that kind of like integration, right, which makes it very seamless in a sense, if that makes any sense. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you're using Exness as a broker, they have a terminal that you can use, analyze and trade on the same terminal without you having to use an external platform. So pretty much. So it's kind of like integrated, you know, like analysis, and that's you having that ability to still trade on the same platform as well. So yeah, just makes everything much easier and seamless, if I was to say. I'm sure it's because of NFP. Traders probably holding for it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not even so aggressive on this position that I have, because I know we have a bunch of things coming up later today. A bunch of things coming up later today. ADP later on. Per chairperson speaks, and then ISM. Yeah. This could move markets a couple hours from now. You could stay away, you could trade them if you have understanding of them. Do you trade based off sessions or when a setup shows up and there's volume? Everything is integrated. So basically my trading system is like a price action session based system. All right, hope that makes sense. So it's price action in the sense that whatever I'm doing right now is simple price action. And then I integrate sessions, right? So I follow what sessions are doing, the highs, the lows, the close, the open, the trading range for particular session, all right? Because that information is very valuable, right? I need that information as I am trading. So yeah, basically, if I put it that way. Hope that makes sense. You think gold is going to fall further? Well, let's see. It's a game of probabilities. It could, might not. It also has the option of retracing, right? Retracing into this area before it can maybe push down. It has that option as well. Yeah. It has that option. How does the indicator work on your chart? I have no indicator on my chart right now. This is not an indicator. This is not an indicator. This is not an indicator. It's a forecasting tool. You can check it out on your Excense terminal. It's not an indicator. It's a forecasting tool. It's the same way you have it's the same way you have, let me show you. The same way you can say you have this, okay? This forecasting tool that you can, utilize, like forecast your buys, understand where you can put your stop, know your entry and so on, right? It's the same way. So this is just a forecasting tool. I'm using this to forecast the volume, right? That I am looking at on an active chart. Are you long or short? I am short currently. Please do an NFP live stream. We'll see. If I have time on my hands, I will. Would you say there's one good best broker? Of course, there is. There's many other platforms, of course, but I personally use Excense because not because it's the most marketed platform, right? And because maybe it's the quite influential and everybody else is using it. But I think because they have what it takes to be called a good platform. The spreads are good. The execution is fast. The withdrawals, just last night I withdrew something to end the month. I got my funds almost immediately. Well, the experience can vary. All right. Maybe you might get your withdrawal later on. They stipulate the time depending on the withdrawal method as well. Right. But I know for a fact that the withdrawals are always guaranteed. Like you always get your money because it's your money. Nobody has to keep it for you. All right. So you request a withdrawal, you get it. It's obviously your money. So yeah. Well, if you're looking for any features in a broker, I think those should be good features. Spreads are good. That should be good. If you've got great execution, then that should be good. Right? Yeah. I'm thinking of closing this position because of the way this candle is looking. I'm still at my entry point. Exactly where price is, there is my entry point. I am thinking of closing this position. Then I'll just maybe wait for a different confirmation. Yeah, we at the entry. Let me just close this position. Or let me wait for this candle to close because it closes in like 2 minutes before I can close it. I read candles a lot, guys, so it's like one of my strengths to my trading strategy. All right, so as I trade, I'm watching out for every tick because I'm day trading, right? I don't want to. I want to make the best decision at every moment of the price movement. All right. So this candle right here is bullish. If it breaks the high of the recent candle, maybe I would start thinking of closing the position. Yeah, if it breaks the high. But it's not right now. So let's see. It's closing in like a few seconds. Quick question. Gold hovering around 4,000 level. Do you think it's going to hold or it's going to get destroyed? What do you mean get destroyed? Yeah, it's around 4,000. I think if it's trading below 4,000, there's a huge possibility that price might continue going down. All right, so let me show you. 4,000 there, right there. So if we keep trading below 4,000, my general analysis is that price should continue trading bearish. All right, if we are trading below 4,000, my general analysis is that price should continue bearish. Okay, there we go. Cool. That candle rejected. You guys noticed that candle rejected, and we have a bearish candle now. So I don't think we should close yet, because if that candle closed above the recent candle's high, perhaps we could have done what I call trade management. With these it's not like when you execute a position that trading ends there. All right. In fact, trading starts when you execute a position. Right. So you have to manage your positions, and part of managing your positions is finding reasons as to why you should be closing your positions. All right. Yeah, that's part of managing your position. Also, managing your positions could be, if you're in profits, finding a way to ensure that you don't lose the gains that you have. There's tools like, trailing stop. There's tools like, putting your stop to break even. There's features like that, obviously, right? And then also, as you are in drawdown, you have to start looking for reasons, based off your analysis and based off your trading system, that puts in a position where you can say, you know what, fine, this is me cutting my loss exactly here. All right. Yeah, could be institutional turning points. I don't know. I just call them psychology levels. All the levels with the zeros, like let's say the way we have this here being 4,000. Okay, let's put the coordinates exactly at 4,000. All right, that's just a psychology level according to me. All right, so my stop is somewhere here, fine, but this is psychology level. So if price keeps trading below 4,000, I do think that we could remain bearish, perhaps. That's my thought anyway. Bull volume is coming in. We'll see. Maybe it would. Maybe it would. I was removed from a VIP even though I have an account under a link. I took a trade yesterday, but the bot says I'm not under your link. Could you advise? Try and reach out to my admins. I think the bot also has a provision where you can reach out to my admins. Yeah, so I don't sort out those issues personally. I have a team that is in charge of doing that. So just reach out to my team and then they're going to help you sort out that. Of course, we have a bot put in place that's very accurate with the information. So if it tells you you're not partnered, it means you're not. Pretty much you change your partnership or something like that. All right. So to keep on enjoying the value that I'm providing, you have to be under my partnership. All right. So if you're not, unfortunately, I can't provide that kind of value. So if you need that value, you need to pay for it. Yeah, basically. All right. So if you want the value for free, like the trades we have right now, you want these trades, you want to be getting them consistently, because I'm trying to help out my traders every single day by giving them trades, by just kind of like giving them some kind of trades, right? So like the trades we have right there, no, we haven't closed the position. No, we haven't. If I close, I tell everybody else to do the same thing too. So if you want that, you might need to be under my partnership, Excellence partnership. So just follow the prompts with the bot. I think the link is in the description as well, if you are not. Alrighty. What questions do you guys have for me? I think I've done a couple good breakdowns on gold. I gave a breakdown too on Euro USD. I won't stretch it too much because I try to avoid having too many pairs at once that's on my watch list. I try to keep it to a few pairs. Today I'm watching gold mostly. Well, look at this. Euro USD throwing out some crazy candles there. But today I'm watching gold closely. I've been watching gold quite a lot. It's one of my favorite assets to trade. So, yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's like and share the stream, guys. Let's go. Let's like and share the stream if you can. How many forex pairs should a beginner trader be looking at? I think that's what you mean. To be honest with you, to avoid the chaos of sometimes it gets confusing if you have so much on your plate, right? Yeah, I personally like to have at least 3 pairs or 3 assets in equation. Like if I want to do some kind of analysis, I would like to have at least just 3 assets that I'm looking at for that day. All right, so I don't really overtrade or anything like that. Yeah, I would recommend you look at 3 assets, so you can look at 3 assets on your watch list. That should be good. Man, the volume on gold today is crazy. It's like 1 minute we're down, 1 minute we're trying to push up, right? Yeah. What do? We stick to the plan, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the plan. Just gonna stick to the plan. We're just gonna stick to the plan. I think that helps more. So now you've become Mr. Gold. No, not really. Hope you enjoying the stream, guys, or rather hope we enjoy the stream. I'll be ending the stream very soon. I just hope that we learned something. We got something from today. Nothing crazy, just giving you guys some analysis and some projections. I'll try and see if I can come back again tomorrow, especially for NFP. I'll try and see if I can come back tomorrow, especially for NFP. So we can do some analysis, right? During NFP. The volume is less. Yeah, it looks like it. Tricky market condition. Very tricky. Quite very tricky. Tricky market condition. But let's see what happens anyway. I do think that there's provisions that probably to some extent markets can go here before pushing down if they have to retest that level. Yeah, because then if you look at left side, on the left side here, you realize that there's this here, right? And then there's this chaos right? Maybe that's what's stopping the markets from just free fall. Okay, maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. If I have to join your community, what do I need to do? Just click the links in the description. I think that's all that you need to do. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Yeah, have a benchmark here. If price goes above this level, I close my positions. My entry is somewhere here. If price goes above this level, I close my positions. Yeah, because I mean, it won't just make sense that I've been holding this trade already for like more than 40 minutes. In fact, more than an hour now. For an hour rather, I think. I got in at 8:21. Yeah, so it's been an hour of going in profits and going back to entry and going back in drawdown and going back to entry and going in profits and so on. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, guys. I'm gonna end exactly here and come back later tomorrow. Nothing crazy today, you know, just giving us some insights and so on. What time zone should we use to set on X terminal? Well, depending on where you are. Yeah, depending on where you are. There's different time zones. Depending on where you are, you can put +2, +3, depending on where you are. Because you want to make sure the time that you have at the bottom right is the same time that you have wherever you are. The time zone, wherever you are, that time zone should be the same thing. I appreciate how simple analysis is. I think it helps us rather than charts with 100 lines and indicators. For sure, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, but also I think it's just the quality of analysis. End of the day, I'm not against people who use indicators. I'm not against people who use any other systems and so on and so forth. The idea is, if you use those indicators, if they help you become profitable, why not go ahead and do that, right? If they don't help you become profitable, maybe you shouldn't use them. Probably you shouldn't be using them. All right, so yeah. Other than trading Forex, what else do you do away from your charts? Do you mean lately or overall? My habits do change quite often. Not primarily, but they change here and there. I have a couple of things I do. In fact, I have a couple of things I do. But things to keep me distracted. I read books a lot. Yeah, I read a lot of books. Lately, I've been reading a lot. Not only lately. I've always been reading, but lately I'm back in my reading zone. So I've been reading a lot of books to just keep me distracted, right? I'm not a movie person. I don't watch movies as such. Yeah, maybe just for distraction, I'll watch a game of soccer or something. Yeah, but I have a couple of things that I do away from trading. It helps a lot to just freshen up and just ease yourself up, right? Actually, I'm in Zambia. Yeah, so put +2. +2 should be it. If you are in Zambia, just put +2. Yeah. All right, guys, enjoy, have fun. Please make sure if you want to join the platforms, there's links in the description. You can check out those links so that you're updated on everything I'm doing in terms of my trades, obviously. Like right now I have a trade. If you want to get updates around that, you can check the links in the description. All right, so you can join the Telegram platforms and be updated, all right, at every moment of whatever is happening on the charts. Right, sometimes I do go live in my private channels and I give trades privately there. So if you'd want something like that, just check out the links in the description. How do you set your screen? I'm from Nigeria. How do you set your screen? What do you mean? You mean my streaming screen? Okay. All right, let's trade safely, guys. Have a good one. I just thought I'd come here and give you some updates and trades and some kind of analysis, right? I hope you appreciate it. I hope you appreciate this conversation. Been good. Been good. Not bad. Not so bad. Alrighty. Peace out. Enjoy. Trade safely.